without further ado, I think my brother's around. Is Lawrence nearby? Okay, my brother is here. So let me just quickly say something about my brother and why he's important to me. For the obvious fact, other than the obvious fact that he's my brother. I remember when I was a baby, my mother gave me this terrible job. And the job was to babysit my newborn baby brother every day, 8 hours a day, for 40 hours a week, for $20 a week. So I got 50 cents an hour to babysit my brother. Now some of y'all are probably like, oh, shut up, boys. You know, I had to babysit for free. Right. So maybe I'm acting a little spoiled, but I was pissed. Because the thing is, you babysitting, I couldn't leave the porch. I couldn't go outside and play with my friends, none of that stuff. I was 8th grade. It was summer. I wanted to run around. You know, life happens, right? And he would wake up super early, 7 a.m. I could still smell those diapers. Made me never want to change diapers again. But I had him with me everywhere I went. Everywhere when I went somewhere, I had to take him with me, and I didn't mind it. You know, he was fun, he was cute, and I developed that nurturing side of my personality. And in fact, some nights he didn't notice, but because he would get up so early, I learned early that the later I kept him awake, the later he would sleep, right? So I'd have him up at 11 at night, and we'd be watching Taxi. Remember Taxi? and so he'd be laying there, he would start falling asleep, and I would start bouncing him on my knee and wake him up. and then he said one day, not too long ago, he said, for some reason, when I watch Taxi, I feel very relaxed. I don't know why. And so let me tell you, that terrible job that my mother gave me, literally, sometimes, God protects babies and fools. So I was a baby who was a fool. So I was like it was a double whammy for me. Well, that terrible job was a blessing for me. It was a blessing because I didn't realize that at that time, my brother and I really bonded, like really, really bonded. And so through the years, we would always talk for hours and hours, and I talk a lot, and I would get on the phone and we just talk about life and girls and decisions and choices and everything else. And so as he got older, when I took that plunge to start my own business, my brother came and worked with me, and he came to Syracuse to work with me, and a lot of people thought we were crazy, and I said, well, just come on out. Let's just try this business thing, see how it goes, and if it doesn't work out, you can always go back to corporate, So he turned down a really good job at Ford to come and work with me, and since that time, it has been an extraordinary experience, and the most important part of that experience is that the more stuff I did, and the more out there I got, right, the more people knew my name, the more I started seeing the ups and the downs of all this, right? You can't, there's a lot of love, but you can't trust everybody. You got to be real perceptive about everybody that comes into your space, right? And but it's a balance. And I found that my brother was the one person who never left my side, who never gave up on me, because he wasn't there for the money, right? He was there for something more powerful than the money. He was there for the love. And he was super intelligent. He balanced me in very important ways. I'd want to go do something crazy, and he'd say, boys, don't do that. That's stupid. And I would listen to that. And without my brother, there is no way on this planet that I'd be able to do the things that I do now.